Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another Obby Creator video. My name is Roro Studios, and today we're going to be building floor 12's outside section for Citadel of Abstraction, which is the Citadel for ring 2 of my JJH rings in Obby Creator. Now, not floor 12, floor 11, but still, the previous video was actually floor 10. The previous floor ends here, where you're going to climb up this truss. It's going to look like there's parkour that you're going to do in floor 12, but you're not going to actually do that yet. There's going to be an invisible conveyor that actually sends you out here somewhere where you're going to do the outside section that I forgot to mention, but I designed 8 years ago. We'll get to that in a minute. After that, I went to MS Paint to explain how the floor progression is going to go in this Citadel, but I later changed my mind, so I'm not even going to bother showing that. What exactly do I mean by design this floor 8 years ago? When I was a lot younger, I used to draw levels in quotation marks, and they would essentially be obbies, and they were like in the sky, so outside sections. And I would tape those to the wall in my room. They've all been taken down from the wall since then. They are somewhere in my house, but I don't feel like looking for them. But there is one that still remains in my room to this day, and it's on the bottom of a drawer on my dresser. And so that's what this outside section is going to be based off of. I haven't really taken a very deep look at this, probably since I drew it. I had a very good artistic talent, as you can tell. Now, there are a few things I remember. So S is start, and F is finish. And also J is jump, because you needed markings for that, apparently. So let's see. You started here, and then you jumped. And a lot of things in these levels I just stole from other games. Many of them from Portal and Portal 2. But this is like a slide thing, and then this is showing your trajectory after that. You do a sick backflip, I guess. I don't know. Now, in Portal 2, there's like a thing. That's what this is. Very specific. And if you point like a laser through it, then it'll like let you open a door if you get all of them activated. So I think that's what's happening here. I don't know if I'd even be able to make this mechanic anyway, so we're just gonna keep going up here. This was a laser emitter thing from Portal 2. Portal TWO. Not TOO. I think the solid ones were laser emitters, and this one was like a receiver. Then what on earth is this? I don't know. But then you have to like climb. No, this was like I don't know what they're called in the game, but it's like a thing, and then you can like ride through it. That's what this is. And you ride that. No, what? You came from over here, apparently. This is so confusing. You came from over here because you jump here and then jump down here. Okay, we're gonna have to make some major adjustments to this. I think this level was old there, because like some of the later ones I drew had like color that made it a lot less confusing. But I think this is supposed to be lava, maybe, or it's a portal over here, or this is a portal. You know what? I think what I'm gonna build is this. I don't know what the new thing is. It wasn't this slide, because that was like one of the first things I ever made up for this thing. But these are spikes, by the way. I think what I'm gonna do is this, and then you're gonna get like launched over here. I'll probably do that using invisible conveyors and take away your ability to jump. I have no idea what's going on here, but I can assume that's what this is. Or the laser receiver. This is different than this in Portal 2. This one allows lasers to pass through it, whereas this one like actually receives it and stops it, if that makes sense. And this is always attached to a wall, while this one's attached to the floor. I don't know if there's a way I can even do that in Obby Creator, so we're just gonna have to go with a push box section as a substitute. Now here's another slide. It launches you up here. If this is an older one, then this one probably isn't this, but it might be like a 3D thing, because I'd sometimes do things like that. Like this is maybe the laser emitter. Maybe this is stopping it. Well, I don't know. We'll make this a push box section as well. I think this is a ladder here. You can kind of see a few lines, so you're supposed to climb that. Oh, I see. Yeah, I remember. I'd write C next to it, because that would be for climb. I think this is a C, and this is the laser receiver. I don't know what the laser receiver activates. Maybe it gets rid of the lava. Let's go with that. And then this will be the thing. Here's another slide, and then I don't know what this is. I got another image here that's not clear at all, but it's just kind of like a floor right here. But this is a laser emitter. This is a laser receiver. Here's the finish line of the level. It's just going to be where you move on to the next floor. It's probably going to be like a truss here in the actual game. I didn't mention anything here about this in the center of the drawing. I mean, I did, but I cut that out. What it was like a lightning storm survival thing. normally there'd be like a portal there, and then you'd survive that for an amount of time. Then you get sent back, and then usually after that would be where a new thing was introduced. I decided to not do anything with the lightning storm thing. I thought about making it a boss battle, but in the end I decided not to. And so basically I also completely ignored the new thing. I don't even know what that was. So yeah. I have not added in any of the effects on this floor from the previous video. I just haven't gotten around to that yet. But there will be effects on this floor. Let's make it like well, I was kind of imagining it being like a dark red, something like this. Keep in mind, you're not going to go to this floor until later. You will see the parkour, though. There'll be nothing here at the moment, it's not going to be anything. But it will be later on when I actually build the parkour here. Okay, I changed the color of the floor because I like this color better. The player says, so it kind of seems as though you built the Citadel Shark, but you don't remember it. Were you possessed by someone else? And then Shark responds, possibly. Was it question mark, question mark, question mark? From down here. You can pause and read that if you want. So you're going to attempt to jump to this platform, but then, it's a conveyor that actually sends you out here. Question mark, question mark, question mark says, my plan isn't working. Surely this outside section will stop you. I've had this ready for years longer than the impossible glitch trial. Now, the impossible glitch trial, I think that's what it's called. I'm too lazy to check. That was like a long section based on glitches. That was an outside section on Citadel of Eternal Corruption, which was Ring 1 Citadel. I had to go back and, fix that a bunch because many of them were clipping glitches, aka the ones that got patched. Anyway, the years longer thing, that's of course in reference to the fact that the creator of this tower, like the actual person in real life, made this that long ago. Actually, I'm gonna notice that question mark, question mark, question mark seems to be claiming that question mark, question mark, question mark made the impossible glitch trial. I'm gonna change this to say me. I mean my. Now that's gonna kinda go along with this, and we'll get to that a little bit through this outside section. But first, let's begin building it. This is supposed to be that this outside section was unplanned. You were originally actually going to complete this floor. So it seems reasonable that you should go back inside this floor. So in the next video, we're going to build floors 11 and 12. And on 12, there's going to be like a hole in the floor that's it broke. Then you're going to fall back down to where the next platform here is going to be, if that makes any sense. So first, let's build the slide. So I think like a 70 or maybe like an 80 speed conveyor here. So first, the slide goes up a little bit, so we can do something like this by rotating the conveyors. And then after that is the new thing that I have no idea what it is. So we're not going to introduce any new mechanics. Okay, so here's the slide thing. It went more, we're viewing it from this angle in the image, in the drawing thing. It went more like this, and then you go over in this direction. But I kind of want to use the space over here. But next you land, you get launched off of there. So let's duplicate this and place a part here. Now there are spikes that you need to get over. They're going to be insta-kills because that's what they would actually be in these levels. I'm going to make sure it's pretty easy to avoid them though. So it's just going to be an insta-kill like this because I'm too lazy to make it actually be spikes. Actually, I could use cones actually. That wouldn't be that hard. However, that's going to be impossible. So just do that. Alright, let's give this a test. So, yeah, so that is possible. You just need to hold W. Honestly, we'll probably make it so you don't even have to do that. But you can see if you jump on here, you do die. So next is the laser thing. And like I said, we're going to do a push box instead. So I think what we should do is a large platform right here where the push box is going to be. And after it is another slide, which again will be made with conveyors. But let's grab the push block and put it right here. And let's make it look like this. This will be the respawn button. So if I do that, you can respawn it like that. I didn't actually test if this is actually possible. So let's find out. Okay, it's probably really hard to get through here. So let's do that then. Actually, just delete this entirely. And let's push this a little bit over this way so that you can get it through this gap more easily. Okay, if you saw that, it hit the seam between this, which is going to be annoying. There we go. Now the button doesn't activate anything yet. I also just fixed this here. So what this button is going to activate, or actually deactivate, there's going to be a thing here that blocks you from pushing the push box up this ramp. There we go. The player can still jump over it, but it's completely useless because the push box is what needs to activate this button. which will go right there. Now I can copy the visual properties of that button, and I'll link them in just a minute. But that's going to activate over here, which I think what I'm going to do is make it so you can push the push box on a conveyor underneath a thing that you can't jump on top, and then you're going to jump underneath the whole thing. That made no sense, but it will after this cut where I build that. Okay, here's what I just built. It actually is possible to go through here, and apparently you can't get back out. Although now you can. It's just going to take a while, because the Roblox character's walk speed is 16. Actually, it won't take that long, but you can see you'll just slowly walk across here and eventually get out. But you know, we'll just make it like 12. But you'll push the push box through here and press that button. That will be a push box button. And then that'll activate all these gray platforms, excluding this one. This gray platform is activated by this button. And so by activating this button, you'll be able to get the push box through here. And once you do that, it'll activate the trusses down here. You'll jump to this one, and then go around like this. And then you do those truss jumps. And then here you need to go like underneath this like that. It's not really that difficult, although I might nerf it if it is. But then you hold space on this platform to get on the like top truss. There we go. And then we're going to continue from here. So like this will be the main route. Next on the drawing is the slide. What I think I'm going to do is make it so you go on top of this platform using it. So we're going to raise that up a little bit. And you kind of get launched up a little bit to land on the upper platform. So that is entirely possible with conveyors. Now I can't exactly do like the flip thing. Actually, yeah, I can. That works very well. So now we just need to move this and rotate it so it actually goes in the right direction. We'll put it over here and make it so you jump on one studs to get over here. There, I just lined this up properly so it looks nicer. It shouldn't really affect this at all. Yeah, that's fine. Now, I think I'll make these one studs just be non-button activated so you can already see them. Now, on top of this platform is where the next storyline thing is. Gonna be explaining this a little bit more. So the player is gonna say, if the impossible glitch child was owned by question mark, I think that it makes sense that that is who possessed you. And then Shark says, but in reality, I was the one who actually built Citadel of Eternal Corruption in the Citadel. I think it's a reasonable guess that question mark, possessed me so that I could build these citadels, but why? Moving on from that, we have the laser, another laser thingy next. So that's, again, going to be a push box section. Because there's that ladder after that, it makes sense that the push box is going to activate a truss. So let me get started on building that. So you're going to use this truss here to jump up, and then this button respawns the push box. Now you're going to use the moving platforms to kind of push this up the staircase. Now to make this, what was that? Anyway, what I was saying was if we change the move offsets just kind of randomly, then it'll, like as long as no two of them are the same, then this will have some variation to it. You use the moving platforms to push it up, and then you're trying to get it to this button right here. The buttons are still not linked to anything, but I'll do that once I finish with this outside section. There we go, and then you'll climb up. Next up in the drawing is the thingy. In Portal 2, it's like a beam, and you can walk in it, and then it'll like carry you along with it. Now there's also a mechanic in Portal 2 where you can like activate this beam, and then it'll actually pull you the other direction. So we can see in the picture there actually appears to be spikes at the edge of that. Now I don't know which direction it's being emitted here, and I'm pretty sure we're doing this backwards because the J is here, but I have no idea. But I think if we apply that mechanic where you press a button to reverse it, I think that would be pretty cool here. So once you climb up the ladder, it's going to be right here. Like the beam is going to be going like this way back towards the tower. Now I do know we have gone over the top of this, but that's going to disappear into the fog, so you won't really be able to notice it anyway, and it would probably look weird if the platform just randomly changed color while you're actually playing the outside section. I know there's no fog effect at the moment, but just pretend there is. Because I'm feeling nice, I'm going to make this thing to get the button to reverse the beam have a safety net over it, and it's going to be pretty short as well. And you'll do a wall hop there, and then I guess the button can be on top of here. Alright, so because the thing is from Portal, I figured I might as well make the button look like buttons from Portal. In Portal, there are essentially two button types. There's the Aperture Science Heavy Duty Super Colliding Super button, which is like a big button like this size about, if you put it to comparison about. And it's on the floor. And then they never say what it's actually called, I don't think. But it's essentially like this, where it's like a small button on a little like post. And so this is actually a click button. Now, this texture I put here, I've mentioned this game that I was working on at one point, and I've since given up on it, but I put several like secret references to Portal in that. And so I actually made a Aperture Science Heavy Duty Super Colliding Super button, and I made this texture for that. But the texture on top of these buttons in Portal and Portal 2 are kind of the same thing anyway. So this works just fine. Now I put the click button, which is this red part, and then put this texture on top of it. The only issue is that it actually is a square. You can kind of see if I put my view in like this, you can see this here. Now what I did, you might be able to notice, is I put a 0.99 transparency glass torus part. Here I can hover over it and make it 0 transparency to show. I mentioned this when I built these 3 floors here. So I used glass to like make the texture disappear, because glass has some strange properties, and such as making textures disappear when seeing you through that. So that's how I covered up the square here. It's not 100% perfect, like there's like 1 pixel here that's you can still see, and I'm too lazy to fix it. Now I could have also used like half hollow cylinders or hollow cylinders, but I used a torus, so yeah. Anyway, from here, let's extend this platform here, and let's put a wraparound on it, because why not? Let's go with a 7 stud. And now this thing is going to take you over a pit of spikes, and then you'll go down another long slide, where you'll do one final push box section before going back into the tower at floor 12. Okay, here's what I've made. So it's actually called a tractor beam. I thought it was called that, but I thought that was something I just like made up, and it wasn't actually called that. And I was like, there's no way that's actually what it's called, but it turns out it is. So the blue tractor beam direction is right, and the orange tractor beam direction is left. Now there's nothing, now in Portal 2, it's actually based off where it's coming from, like the direction, not left or right or anything. This is like the starting point of it, and if it's blue, it pushes away from it, and if it's orange, it pulls towards it. The reason I wanted to put that here was because this is going to extend into another floor that's just going to be over here, and so it's just going to like stop there, and it's not going to be very clear where it's starting and stopping, and so I just put it here, explaining that. Now, as you can see, if you jump into it, then it'll push you in this direction. You can't just jump across the conveyor and cheese this. You do have to actually, because there's that invisible wall there, you do have to actually walk over here, or do this, and then click this button. You can see it turns orange, and then it'll take you in this direction. Now that, I guess I should make that can't collide false, so that doesn't happen. There we go. And then you'll just jump out. Another thing in Portal 2 is whenever there's one of these buttons, there's like a line connecting it to whatever it's actually connected to. So the line is blue if the button's not activated, and orange if it is activated. So like in Portal and Portal 2, like a bunch of stuff is based off the colors blue and orange, such as the tractor beams, the portals themselves, things being on and off, and many other things as well. I also decided not to do anything with like the spikes, since you're going over this gap here, so I figured that wasn't entirely necessary. Anyway, lastly, we have a long slide, and then the lasers, which of course are going to be push boxes. So this is going to be like a large platform for you to land on after the tractor beam. And then we're just going to do a long conveyor. I guess I should go ahead and put in the frame for the next floor. Let's make it be this color. Alright, I finished building the parkour for this floor. I haven't actually tested out this conveyor. Okay, let me fix that. Okay, I think it should be fixed now. Let me try again. Okay, well that time it didn't even do that. Well, if it does again, then I guess that'll happen, so it's fine. I put a random kill brick here, because why not? Before I show this entire outside section, start to finish, we're actually going to add in the fog thing now. In order to make the fog effect, what I did was pretty simple. So I put in like walls around the edges of the obby slot and made them 0.01 studs thick, so that it wouldn't cost as much money in order to do that. And then I simply used a button to make those appear. By default, they were can't collide false and transparency 1. And also cast shadow false, because that's highly recommended, so that a giant shadow doesn't cover your entire obby, which would look weird. And the reason for this is because the fog effect only actually like appears if there's a part for it to show up on. Otherwise, it just shows the skybox. And so I didn't set the fog end as low as I could. I set it to like 300, I think. And so that's how I made that work, so that the fog effect worked the way I wanted it to. Now at the moment, it only applies for this one outside section, not that other one before floor 10, but I will get to that at some point. Okay, so let's give this a test like this. Yep, it works perfectly. Now, I guess it actually doesn't have to be 50, and I'm going to make it not be 50, actually, so that you can see a little bit more of what's happening. To do that, just select your advanced tools part and change this to something. Alright, yeah, I like this. So you can see the tower disappear into the fog down here. But yeah, you can still see the section. I also linked up the buttons if I didn't already mention that. So let's go. We can show the whole tower start to finish. Here's the Obby ID if you want to come play this, and I'll add in the teleporter to floor 10. And by floor 10, I meant floor 11 outside. It's going to say this, and then you're going to come back to floor 11 later, so it's going to be a little bit confusing. And it's still going to teleport you inside here, but since you're only in here for like one jump, yeah. The previous floor ends when you climb up a button-activated ladder right here. The player says, so it kind of seems as though you built the Citadel Shark, but you don't remember it. Were you possessed by someone else? Possibly. Maybe it was question mark, question mark, question mark. You'll be able to see the parkour in this floor that you'll be coming to later. This random teleporter just sets you back to here in case you fall for now. That's temporary. Then you get sent out here. It's going to look like you do actual jumps there, but for now, it does that. Question mark, question mark, question mark says, my plan isn't working. Surely this outside section will stop you. I've had this ready for years, longer than my impossible glitch trial. Like I said, the impossible glitch trial was outside section with a lot of glitches on Citadel of Eternal Corruption. And then years longer, that's in reference to this video, which is that I designed this floor a long time ago. Anyway, you do that conveyor launch. That's supposed to be the slide. Those insta-kill you. And then this is a push box section. This respawns the push box, as you can see. And then the red will destroy it and set it back to right there. But first you need to push it around here. And then, maybe that's not supposed to happen. Let me fix that. There, it shouldn't be able to get stuck now. Now that deactivated the platform here. And so what you need to do is reset this, not do that. You actually don't die if you fall, so I'll be sure to put in just an insta-kill that you can't see in case you do fall. Not that there's really anything you can do if you end up falling there, so yeah. So now you need to push it up this ramp. You can go backwards to not go in climbing animation. I actually haven't tested out this part here. Yeah, that needs to be fixed. Oh, I guess you can also go sideways here. Okay, now that it actually works, that spawned in this platform, where you can respawn the push box again. I guess technically you could push it through here again if you wanted. And then you push this in here, where it's going to press the button and activate these gray platforms. So now you're going to jump down and do this truss section. So you can like ladder flake to there, or like on this side or something. Here you can do something like that. And now here you should go like on the edge of the truss like that. Not like that. You should go do that and then go down and then kind of turn your way onto here. Or fall and get lucky. I might nerf that. I think I might have mentioned that. Here you just need to hold space to get up there. And then you do a few one studs. Okay, you can see your shadow there actually. And I think that's a shadow of this character model. There. There's not really anything I can do about that, so I'm not really going to worry about that. Then you have another slide, aka a high-speed conveyor. The player says, if the impossible glitch trial was owned by question mark, question mark, question mark, I think it makes sense that that is who possessed you. Shark says, but in reality, I was the one who actually built Citadel of Eternal Corruption in this Citadel. I think it's a reasonable guess that question mark, question mark, question mark possessed me so that I could build these Citadels. But why? Now we have another push box section. This respawns it, and you use these moving platforms to get it up this staircase thing. There is kind of a safety net if you do something like that. Now we need to push it across here, and then that'll activate this truss. Now you don't need to like respawn that or anything. And this sign says that the blue tractor beam goes right and the orange tractor beam goes left. That's referring to this. If you jump to it right now, it pushes you in this direction. Eventually it'll go into the side of another floor. But for now it just does that and will drop you into the void. But once you walk over here and do this quick section with a wall hop, there we go. You can click this button, which will do that. It'll change to orange, and then it'll send you in another direction, or the opposite direction. Then you have another high-speed conveyor, and then here's the random kill brick. Now slanted wraparound, then you jump here. Here's another push box. You can push it off or something, but that's the respawner. There's no button other than the respawn button associated with this. All you're trying to do is push it along this wall, and then jump through here, where floor 12 will begin. And then you'll go down to floor 11. Now actually, before I end this video off, I'm going to show you how I actually built this tractor beam. So what you're looking at right now is an invisible wall here that will prevent you from just walking in this direction. You're also looking at a blue glass platform inside, or cylinder, inside here, there's the orange one, just a little bit smaller. Because this is glass, the orange one is invisible, unless you put your camera through here like this. I don't really know of any better way I could do this, and this is fine anyway, since the player probably isn't going to do this, and if they do, it's not even that big of a deal. You're also seeing this conveyor that goes that way. Now, when you press this button, it's a make objects invisible button. It removes this, aka making it can't collide false, and it's already transparency 1, so there's no change to its transparency. It also deactivates this blue platform. It's already can't collide false, but it changes its transparency to 1, aka invisible. And so that just leaves this orange one visible. And then inside this conveyor, there's another invisible conveyor that's a little bit smaller, and this one goes the other direction. And so the larger conveyor, which goes this way, is deactivated by this as well. So all the platforms that this deactivates are right here. They're what I just demonstrated. The large conveyor, the blue glass cylinder, and this barrier. Anyway, it looks like that's going to be the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. This was building floor 11's outside section, which I designed in a level, quotation marks there, 8 years ago. And like I said, it might not have been 8 years ago exactly, but whatever. You can see the outside section is up there. Again, here's the Obby ID if you want to come play this. And so if you have any comments on this outside section, predictions for the storyline, or suggestions for what I could build in future floors of the Citadel, then please let me know in the comments. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I'll see you in the next one, and have a great day.